many people need no.
Cancel that bitch. I'll buy it now.
I'm like, what did I just do? If leaving me on red was a person, welcome to my channel. What's good? How y'all feeling out there? Thank you so much for stopping by. It's your girl. I am here, baby. I am here with a good story time. So I hope y'all ready, because you know I got a little juicy well, I can't even really say it's juicy, so I'm not even gonna hold you, but I do have a little story that I want to share with y'all, because it's just it's a endearing story that I have. Yes, this story time is about the time that I fumbled the bag, baby. And what bag, you ask? Not a monetary bag. This is the time I fumbled the bag with this guy, this fine ass guy that I was interested in years ago. And so yeah, circa 2010, you know what I mean? It was Halloween night. It was a good night, baby. We was in there. We was in this juicy joint, having a good time. It was lit. That year, I definitely chose to not dress up. I dressed up as myself.
I don't know, that was like a thing at the time.
I had this cute little lace blumber going on with some black leather-esque type pants and these bomb like mid-calf length type of boots. And they was dope. They was real leather, so they was like hitting on all angles. And I was strutting, baby. I was strutting that night. So I was feeling myself. I was feeling good, feeling great. But you know, Halloween is just one of those, for me, it used to be a very fun vibe for me. So, you know, my homegirls, they was there. Now they actually dressed up, and so that kind of made it even more fun for me. Because my one homegirl, she had on this bomb French maid costume. It was real nice, real silky. You know, she had the petticoat with it and everything. All of the accessories, you know what I mean, the headgear, the gloves, and just was looking A1 bomb. Then my other homegirl, she decided to go as Bob the Builder. So cute. It was so funny though. She had these she had the yellow hard hat, she had the white wife beater. Now mind you, she had a really bomb shape, so it really kind of just played out really nice for her. She had the suspenders with the cute little dark blue jeans. And so yeah, we was just in there, you know what I mean, having a good time, having some drinks. We on the dance floor, bow, bow, bow. You know, I can't even think of like what was the song then. I know Lil Wayne. No, it was Big Sean. That was like a big song at the time. Big Sean, you know, as I don't want to say too much curse words right now, but you know, I was trying to think of some other popular songs during 2010, because that was my era. I'm sorry, you know, to all of the new generation Z, X, I don't know which one we're at. We're beyond millennials, but I'm a millennial. That was just like, oh my goodness, that was like the time. The music was just everything then. It still is, but you know, I'm not really familiar with a lot of these, you know, new age cats or whatever. Yes, so back to the time. So, you know, obviously, you know, first and foremost, let me tell y'all, let me fill y'all in. I'm a good Sagittarius. Don't hate. I don't want to hear it. You already know how we give it up. Shout out to my Sagittariuses out there. Sagittarius gang, we in the building. Yeah, I'm a good Sagittarius, and one thing I'm gonna tell you about me, sweetheart, is I've always had a certain type of cosmic energy, pizzazz, spunk, charisma, you know, like instantly, you know, I can just feel the energy. Somebody else can feel the energy, and it's an instant click. Especially when it comes to guys, when I'm dating guys, like I just get this keenness. I know like if somebody is going to be compatible with me, and even just from meeting them off the rip, there's a certain exchange that happens that, you know, it just gives you that warm fuzzy vibe inside, like,
oh, you spicy like me. You got a little something going.
So like I said, you know, we in there, boom, bomb, you know what I'm saying? And I happen to catch eyes with this guy. Now, you already know how it go. 3 seconds I hold the gaze, that's shooting your shot in a sense. I wasn't necessarily like shooting my shot though, because back then I definitely allowed guys to like make the move. I definitely allow guys to come to me, or not even just allow them to come to me, like I drew them to me. I always do that because people have told me over the years that like I have this look in my eyes, I have this like you know, heavy emotion in my eyes or whatever, and so I've gotten that all my life. It's just something, like I said, it's part of that cosmic energy. And so boom, so we catch eyes or whatever. I instantly notice, you know, the quick scan. You already know how that go, ladies. The quick scan, I'm like, okay, what we have here? Usually if any type of instance like that happens where I may notice somebody, or you know, that spidey sense goes off, I feel like I'm getting that vibe like they got what it takes to, you know what I'm saying, spark my interest. I kid you not, like, it could be 6 months down the line, it could be a year later, it could be that person and me is going to cross paths. Typically I end up dating the person, or you know, even just chatting with the person in some type of way. It always happens like clockwork. All I gotta do is think about it, you know what I mean? And I know y'all be seeing the stuff, the memes, all of that, you know what I'm saying? Because spirituality and manifestation is like kind of big, the whole new age. You know how people be saying like, you know, girls just think about a dude. It really do be like that. Like we really just be like thinking about a person, or, you know, we may see somebody in passing and be like, dang, I want to know who that is. Just like that, just shows up. Universe produces, babies. I'm just letting y'all know, like, it's real. So that's kind of how it happened, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, who is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he was cute. Now let me give you a quick description of him. Chocolate bomb, you already know. Yes, I'm dark skinned and I do love me a chocolate milk. That's what I'm drawn to. Like, I know how, you know, kind of, it's always the opposite things. I have dated a lot of light-skinned dudes as well, just because they've been initially interested in me. You know, typically, like I said, I'm drawn to darker men. Like, whew, it's just something about them. And y'all already know how it go. Y'all already know, like, I wish that, you know, a lot more of the brothers appreciated all of this goodness. I wish a lot of my brothers appreciated more what's going on over here. I mean, not just me per se, but you know, my chocolate sister. Shout out to y'all. My brown, my dark baddies. Shout out to y'all. You already know we killing the game. We've been, you know, showing up and showing out in these streets. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna stop no show over here. Anyway, okay, let me get to the story. So boom, he's not too tall. My taste in men has definitely, you know, it's always been very distinct. I'm sorry, that little hair is bothering me. Okay, let me give y'all a little bit more of these eyes, baby, so y'all can see what it is. Okay. So my taste in men has always been like very distinct. It has evolved a little bit over the years, but I've never, like, back then I wasn't so much fixated on like super tall guys as I am now. I kind of like you know, a lot more turned on by taller guys. Back then that wasn't really a thing for me, and also he had dreads. So now I know for sure, like, I'm not really attracted to dreads, especially like long dreads or anything like that. No offense or anything like that. I feel like there are a lot of attractive men out there that do have long dreads, that wear dreads very nicely, but for me it's just something about dreads. I'm not drawn to dreads anymore. But back then, now mind you, he had these like short bob like dreads. That was like, I was like, oh, I like that, that's cute. It fit him is what I'm gonna say. It really fit him. He was very built, very built, had a nice build to him. And you know how you can kind of like look at somebody and just kind of like visualize like what it's given visually, you know, everything else kind of just like checks out. Like, okay, if it's everything up top is like pluck plow, I'm sure like the package, you know, you just start thinking about all types of stuff. Like, don't front on me like that ain't you. That little chisel, you know, like, what is that called? Because I don't forgot. Mine went blank because I'm thinking like reminiscing on this right now. When I think on this story, it just, it's like a cute little nostalgic feeling for me. Anyway, okay, let me get to the story. So I'm not dwelling on anything like that. I'm still with my homegirls. We vibing. I'm taking pictures with all the costumes, all of the people. Where's Waldo? Vampires, the nurses. Oh, I remember Nurse Betty. Nurse Betty was mad funny. And I was just having a blast. Like, I really wish I could show y'all some of these pictures from this night. Because this night was like super epic than most of my Halloween night. So yeah, okay, I forgot to mention that he did have a nice smile too. Now that right there, a guy's smile will capture me before anything else. You see this cuteness, you see it. Like, my smile, I adore my smile. I adore like my little, what is that thing? My lips, like, I feel like I got like the perfect lip or whatever. So, you know, throughout the night, me and my homegirls, we doing our thing, whatever. And of course, me and old boy end up on the dance floor in front of each other, eye to eye now. And it just, like I said, I can't even remember how it happened. I know it wasn't like me going up to him or nothing like that, but I think he was thinking about me too. And I think that he just was curious and wanted to see what it do. So, you know, somehow, some way, we ended up in front of each other chatting. So now I'm face to face with him, and I'm, you know, looking at him, and I'm giving him, you know, a little playtime or whatever. And we just having like a real brief conversation. Here's where the story takes a turn, a nosedive. So a little bit about me again. Back then, I was definitely a lot more forward, a lot more blunt, a lot more, I guess I could say brass. I don't want to say crass, because crass is like almost like ignorant, like disrespectful, like, you know, just no regard. So brass is just like a little bit like, you know, you could be super like honest, or you can just be brutal in a way where it might rub somebody the wrong way, the way you say something, but that may not be your intention. So, you know, I was a lot more like that back then. I'm saying, I spoke my mind, I spoke whatever, you know what I'm saying, I had to say. And I've definitely, you know, learned to have a lot more reserve now. I don't have to say too much these days, you know, to just allow things to speak for themselves. And that was a little growing, you know, process for me. As I'm chatting with him, I don't know what went through my mind. Something that stood out about him was the fact that he had this very tight muscle shirt on. Even though he looked good in the shirt, there was just something going on for my mind. I know that a lot has changed with the whole fashion trends that a lot of guys wear now versus, you know, it was kind of like starting to be more fluid at this time. It wasn't as prominent, and the whole metrosexual vibe, the way that certain guys dress now, it's a lot more like, you know, blurring the lines. You know, also just a lot, guys weren't as open as they are now with, you know, the way that they presented themselves, their sexuality and everything like that. So it was just this alarm that was going off in my head, like, okay, what's up with this tight ass shirt though? Should I be concerned? Should I just flat out came out with it and asked this dude, asked this man, was he bisexual? Tell me why I did that. Why did I do that? Baby, if leaving me on red was a person, you already know how, you know, today, leaving somebody on red, you know what I'm saying, the whole iPhone leaving me on red, you disrespecting me.
You trying to play me like, oh, that's what it is, you leaving me on red. Okay, that's it, that's how you feel.
When I tell you that when I asked this man, was he bisexual, he just looked at me. He didn't say anything. He didn't get upset, because he just had this blank stare. And he just looked at me and he just walked off. Just walked off. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I just do? And I felt so embarrassed, because I'm like, was anybody watching us? Like,
did they just see this man leave my jaw on the floor?
Do they know what just took place? Like, I'm like, oh my God, are you crazy? Like, what was you thinking? First of all, here's the problem with what I asked him. it wasn't necessarily the fact that I asked him bisexual, because I feel like that's an honest question. You never really know with people, you know, everybody has got a lot going on, especially these days. But however, I feel like I said, some things, you know, you just allow time to take its course. You allow things to speak for themselves. I don't know this guy. I had no right asking him right off the bat, is he bisexual? Like, we was just chatting. We didn't even really get to an official point where it was like, I'm shooting my shot, yo, I'm taking you home, I want your number. Like, it didn't even get that far. So I definitely feel like, you know, that was an opportunity for me to get checked.
Like, girl, get it together.
Okay, learn you something. Don't always be so, you know, out there. And just play it cool, you know what I mean? And like I said, this was a learning curve for me, you know, in my prime. You know, down the line, I ended up crossing paths with this person again, but so much time had passed, I don't believe that they remember me. I mean, remember that incident. No, I'm gonna say I don't believe that they remember me and that we actually had that encounter. There was an event that had took place like years after this event, and I ended up briefly having to say something to this person. Now, I remember who he is, you know, obviously, because I never forgot about that incident. That taught me something. I laugh about it today, you know what I mean? And I look back on it and it's just like this cute little moment, you know, even though it was embarrassing for me, even though I feel like I fumbled the bag, even though I feel like, you know, I didn't get an opportunity to really see where our conversation, our interaction could have gone. He probably just forgot about me, just like, okay, this chick, whatever, goodbye. He didn't give me the vibe like he remembered me, you know what I mean? He didn't give me the vibe like he remembered, you know, that I asked him that question. For me, I know who you are because I've seen him on social media. Over the years, I've also been able to witness the fact that, yes, he does have the personality that I initially thought that he had. He does have a very big, you know, energy about him, very charismatic, you know, not like goofy. He's definitely got, you know, if I just use the lack of better words, he's definitely got like a swag to him. I just feel like I've definitely just maintained this crush on him. I always think about the what if. I always think about like, dag, you know, like, what if I wouldn't have said that to him, like, and we would have, you know, continued our conversation, like, would he have took me home and you know, did what he did? Will we have done what we did? Will we have like stayed in contact? I feel like we definitely would have had a lot in common. Just even like seeing who I am now and seeing who he, you know, obviously was or evolved to. I'm very charismatic as well, spicy, fiery, you know, all of that good stuff. So I think that we would have had a lot of fun together. I think that, you know, we probably would have, you know, been able to keep each other laughing and stitching. And so it's just like, it's good though. I feel like it's good for me to have that memory, have that experience that I can look back on and still feel, you know, a feeling of like curiosity. I think that that's good for anybody to have a situation where maybe you didn't act on it. Maybe you didn't, you know, see what it's about. Maybe curiosity didn't kill the cat. You know how sometimes you could be mad curious about somebody. You could be like, oh, I want that person, or I want to see what's up with that person. I want to meet this person. I want to do that. It could be guy or girl. Anybody, your favorite celebrity. And then when you meet them, the letdown. You know what I mean? Like the whole disappointment of it all. Like, dang, you is not what I expected. Okay? Like, who is it? But y'all know how that goes. And just kind of seeing this person over the years be and become who they are, you know, it's still a certain level of like crush, curiosity there. I wouldn't even act on it. To be honest, like now, you know, that we're grown, we're older adults, he's not really my type now. You know what I mean? Obviously we've changed, you know, things have changed. He doesn't look exactly the same, of course. He technically wouldn't be my type now. But his personality is my type. I'm not gonna lie. I won't rule it out. I'll just say that he doesn't attract me in the way that he did at the time when I first met him in his prime and we were both in our prime. He just has something about him that's a good thing. And it gives me that feeling of, you know, like I said, nostalgia, being able to just look back on this incident. Just this funny little thing that's always in the back of my head every time I see him or I come across him on social media. I'm smiling to myself like, dad, you know, I really fumbled that bag, because I don't know what, you know, what could have come of that. You never know. Maybe one day we will have an opportunity to chat about it. Who knows, you know, just to get an idea, like, what was going through your head when I asked you that? Were you really mad and you didn't say anything? Were you offended? Did you feel like, this bitch? I'm pretty sure that's probably what he said. Yeah, he probably was definitely like, how dare you, girl? Goodbye. You're done. Conversation over. You know, anybody out there who's had a similar experience, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Chat with me, talk to me. Tell me about an instance where, you know, you fumbled. You kind of dropped the ball with a scenario. You don't have to necessarily be a guy, but I think it's such cuter when girls end up messing up a situation, or, you know, just doing something goofy that may turn a guy off. And it happens. It's life. You know what I'm saying? You gotta grow from your experiences, and we all have embarrassing moments. We all have, you know, things that we may have said or done that have, you know, you look back like, what the hell was I thinking? At the end of the day, if you can't laugh at yourself when it's all said and done, then I mean, what are you doing? You know? So I definitely take the opportunity when I think back on this story to just laugh, and I smile. It's a story that I'll have that'll always be like, you know, just special to me. For some reason, it'll just always be a special story to me, because like the look on his face, like I'll never forget it. So let me know about your experience if you have one. I'd love to hear more about it. Thank you for listening to my story time. You know, I definitely got some other things, you know, in the works that I'll probably share with y'all. Share, comment, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe if you like, and come back and see me. Check me out. All right, it's your girl signing out.